Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Claudia. So if you are new to my channel, welcome to my channel. I'm so excited that you're watching this video. And if you're one of my regular viewers, thank you so much for your support. As I try to tell you and thank you guys as much as I can. But every time you like my videos or you subscribe to my channel, it really does help my channel. And it helps me with, providing all of you with more content. So I appreciate that. So today what I wanted to do is, I get a lot of questions often about buying on Facebook groups. And I know it's a really scary thing. If I'm being candid with all of you, in the beginning, when I first started buying pre-loved on some of the Facebook groups, I was super nervous and I was scared about getting scammed. And I was actually more hesitant, to be honest. I used to just go on Fashion&Lifestyle or The Real or Tradesy. I used to go to reputable websites that I knew would guarantee these items, because if you're like me, I don't want to have to worry about if my item's real or not. If I'm paying top dollar for, or even if I'm paying money and I think I'm getting an authentic item, I want my authentic item. And I will say, there are a lot of scammers on some of these social media groups, especially Facebook. So I thought that I would do a quick video for you guys and just give you some of the tips and just 3 things that I usually do when I'm buying on a Facebook group. And I'm hoping that if you do these 3 things, that this will really help you when you're shopping on Facebook. And that way, if you're buying something authentic or something luxury, you want to make sure that your items are real. And if for whatever reason they're not, at least you'll have some safeguards in place. So I'm going to go ahead with the first one. So one of the first things that I usually do when I'm on Facebook and I am looking for an item is that I do my homework. So if I see someone who posted an item and it's a bag or an accessory item or some shoes or whatever it is that I really want, I will click on their profile. I'll see if they're selling other things in these groups. And if they're really active and it looks like they're selling a lot, then that gives me a little bit more reassurance that it's not just someone who randomly jumped on a group and just is trying to sell something that may not be real, right? So, but again, sometimes there are people that are not always selling items and they may just sell 1 item or 2 items over 2 years. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they're not reputable or they're not trustworthy, but sometimes it does give you a little more reassurance if you see that they are selling multiple items. So that's one of the things that I do. I do my homework. And also sometimes on these Facebook groups, depending on which ones you're on, I'm on like 3 different Facebook groups and they're all like Louis Vuitton and like Gucci and things like that. And I will say, sometimes you can ask for a reference. You can say, hey, has anybody purchased from this person? Can you give me a reference? And people will jump on there really quick. So that again gives you more reassurance that you're buying from somebody reputable. So now I'm going to go into number 2. Number 2, I think this one's actually more important than number 1, in my opinion, because, it has to do with protecting your transaction, right? So if you're going to buy an item, you want to make sure that your transaction is protected. And when I say it's protected, I mean no Venmo, no Zelle Pay, because those two transactions are usually not reversible. I will say I bought something with the Venmo and Zelle and I lost my money. Venmo disputed it. I couldn't get my money back. And the same thing happened with my Zelle. So once that money leaves your account, it is no longer your money. So just keep that in mind. The only way that I buy on these Facebook groups is if they offer PayPal invoice. And, when it comes to that, it's just the only way that I will. I understand that PayPal invoice they do actually charge the seller some fees, because I've done it myself. I've sold on PayPal and they will take a percentage, and it's a small percentage, but I will tell you, I have seen people get scammed where they get somebody who says, hey, this bag's $1,500, but if you do family and friends, I'll reduce it to $1,200 or I'll reduce it to $900 to kind of entice you. And you think, wow, well, this person might actually give me a really good discount, so I should go for it. And I'll tell you, that is, in my opinion, you're better off paying the full price of what they're asking, because you'll know that it's insured, right? So if something happens, I will say it has happened in the past. not, you know, specifically PayPal invoice where I got scammed, but an item got lost. And I will say PayPal does have very good customer service. If you put in a ticket because an item is suspicious or you didn't get your item or you got scammed, they do usually give you your money back. So that's a really, in my opinion, it's a bonus. You get your money back, it's insured, so you don't have to worry about it. So that's my suggestion to you. If you get somebody who wants to do the family and friends, I would suggest you do not do that. Unless it's somebody that you know personally, someone that you have on speed dial that you can message privately, be careful, because I will say what also has been going on lately that I've been seeing more and more of this is somebody will create a profile with your name, your picture. So now all of a sudden, if I'm a regular seller, they're on using my profile picture, my name, and people that know me, if they know that I'm a reputable seller, they just start buying and they'll do the family friends because, hey, it's somebody that I bought from before. I trust them. So be very careful. Go back to your messages in your messenger or whatever. Find another form sometimes to make sure that it is the person that you have bought from, because they're getting more and more creative. So you have to be really, really careful. Number 3. So the other thing that I really do when I'm buying pre-loved on Facebook is that I do a Google search. Like if it's a bag that I want, say it's a Pachette Matisse and, you know, monogram or whatever, pattern that I want, the year and everything, I'll do a Google search just to see what they're selling this bag for. So now if I find out that the Real or the Fashion File or another reputable company is selling the bag at the same price or cheaper, sometimes I'm more inclined to go with the bigger company because I know that I'm going to be insured. I don't have to worry about any of the chaos of filing a report or a dispute with PayPal and things like that. And also it helps you also see if it's worth it. Because sometimes we get excited, we see an item, we're like, oh gosh, I want this item, I need this item. And then you get on Google and you search the item and someone's selling it on Fashion File or the Real and it's $300 cheaper. I've done that before where I find an item on Facebook and I go on and look and I end up buying it somewhere else because sometimes it's easier, unless it's somebody that I really trust. But I always tell people, do your homework because you want to make sure that if you're going to buy an item, that is what it's going for right now. There are some items out there that are really hard to find items that unfortunately you are going to pay top dollar for, just like the Louis Vuitton bum bag. Now this bag, you will pay top dollar because it's not being made anymore. There's, people have it, but they're holding on to it. And from what it used to be to now, I mean, gosh, people are making a killing on these. So just keep that in mind that they are making a lot of money off of these because again, there's that, it's a hard to find item. So you are sometimes going to pay more than what it was at the store maybe 5 years ago. Or even the same year if it's an item that's no longer being made. So just keep in mind. So those are the three things. I'm just going to do a quick recap. One is do your homework, get some references, ask around, check the profile, make sure that this is somebody who's active on the group. Number 2, if you do a transaction, do it where it's secure. Use PayPal invoice. The buyer and the seller, I mean, for you, it should be the price that they're asking, but the seller may have to pay some fees, but you're better off paying the fees and you're guaranteed and you're at least have the peace of mind that your item is going to be exactly what you paid for. If not, then at least you'll get your money back. And number 3 is do a Google search. Make sure that what you're buying is actually worth it. Don't get scammed where you see an item and all of a sudden you could have bought the item for $500 less on a different website. So those are the 3 things that I usually do when I am buying on Facebook. And I know some of you guys may be nervous on buying on Facebook because I was too, but I will say over time, I'm a lot more comfortable doing it. And I will say there are like 2 or 3 groups that I'm part of that I really love, that I have never been scammed. And exactly these 3 things, I follow these 3 things, I do these 3 things every time I buy an item, and I have not been scammed ever with these Facebook groups. The scams, I got scammed, but it was differently. It wasn't with these Facebook groups, but I did want to just mention that. So anyway, please be careful if you are buying on Facebook. If you have any questions, I'm always accessible to all of you. And I think you guys know that. Some of you guys take advantage and you'll email me. You'll go on my Instagram. I do have an Instagram as well. Find me there, Claudia's Fashion Closet. And also my email. So you can email me and I'm really good about getting back to you guys. So thank you so much. I really appreciate all the love and support and I will see you next time.